Hey there guys, what is going on? I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about a little known perk in this game that might actually be one of the strongest pieces of equipment or strongest pieces of information that you can actually receive in this game right now. Now, as with every Call of Duty, it does take a while for people to learn the spawns, learn the maps, learn the routes that people are going to take, but every piece of information that you can get, and you can combine this with our field microphone guide that we put out yesterday. But this is one of the most important perks that you can go with right now, and I don't really see enough people using it, and that is, of course, forward intel. Just before we do get into talking about the details of forward intel, make sure you hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on. I do very much appreciate it, and it does very much help me out. I know about 80% of you guys watching this video right now are not subscribed, so it would do me a massive favor if you could do that for me, because we are looking for 4,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And the like goal for this video is, of course, going to be 12 likes, because I know you guys can do that pretty easily, but I want to see if you can keep getting there for me. I do massively appreciate that. Right, so, of course, forward intel is very, very interesting here. The description does say that we can see indicators for enemy reinforcements on your minimap, and the minimap does show a larger area. Now, the first little part of that conversation is not something that really people do understand, but the last part is something that is quite easy to wrap your head around. Minimap shows a larger area. From what I have seen, it does increase the minimap area significantly. Like, from what I can tell, it's about a 50, maybe even a 50 to 60% increase in the actual minimap size. And as we have seen in Call of Duty's previous, the minimap size has actually been getting like smaller and smaller, and you can't actually see as much. You get less information from it. So having a perk that does increase the minimap size might actually be enough for people to take this perk anyway, especially if you are using perk greed. You can maybe take like flak jacket, forward intel, and so on, and work out your other perks from there. But with forward intel, basically the other part of that information, see indicators for enemy reinforcements on your minimap, is actually a lot more easy to understand than you might think. Essentially, it does let you see enemy respawns. Basically, if anybody does respawn on the map, you'll get an indicator, a little red light, as you can see here on the top of your minimap or the bottom, depending on the direction that they did spawn in from. That means you can sort of have that extra piece of knowledge, and you can learn where people are, where they move, and where they're going to go, and that essentially lets you learn the spawns easily, which does take a long time, and some people just never learn the spawns in these games. Like, it's ridiculous how powerful this perk actually is, and it can actually be kind of a crutch if you're using this significantly. Like, you can pretty much just be spending the whole map just sort of waiting for people to get kills, and then moving towards the red dots on your minimap, waiting for people to run into you, and it can actually promote like a bit of a campy, slower play style. But it is all about getting those spawn traps, all about getting the drop on people, and all about us having as much information as you can have. And forward intel really does give you that extra intel. Like, you can see here on the minimap, we see where these guys respawns. If somebody does get a couple of kills off the rip, and then we sort of move towards where the enemies are going to respawn, you can see that there on the minimap we are moving towards the respawns, and we know that eventually people are going to come down these lanes. As you do learn the maps, you will learn the only options that people do have to walk through certain corridors is this particular tree or this particular car. Like, you know where people are going to be most of the time, and with forward intel you get more information than any other perk in the perk 1 slot, apart from like paranoia, which does let you know where people are coming from when they are looking at you. But forward intel is just one of those perks that is absolutely hilarious in this game. I don't think we've ever seen anything that provides this much information along with something like a field microphone. With the field microphone, as we talked about in yesterday's video, you basically get a mini advanced UAV that is in a certain location. You play around that and people can't really sort of sneak up on you and so on. But with forward intel, we really can learn spawn information here. So say we kill somebody in the middle of the map, they spawn over on the left hand side, the indicator will point directly to where they spawn. I mean, assuming there's only one person on the map. But this information is just so useful. You can really just like walk towards people's spawns and just wait for them to run past you. It's really insane how powerful this is in this game. Even if you are playing in a group, say you're squatted up with the boys you have forward intel on, the rest of your teammates, for example, might have tac mask over something like forward intel. They know that you know where they're spawning, so you provide that information to them. You say, oh, we're spawning up on the left hand side, let's move over there and wait for them to come to us. You get easy kills on them. It's just such a powerful tool for controlling information, because knowing information in Call of Duty is absolutely key. But knowing that minimap shows a larger area would normally be enough for people. I think it's about a 50 to 60% increase, as we said, and that would normally be enough. It does provide you a lot of information as it is, and this actually also does provide you with some better spy plane utility, as well as increasing the ability for you to use those field microphones in combination with something like Gearhead. But I mean, when you do combine the field microphone and forward intel, basically you're an information machine. You have all the details you could ever want about where people are coming from, where people are moving, and you can basically just pick them off very, very easily. But there isn't really much much else to say about this particular option. It's very, very simple, way more simple than it reads on the actual description here. Like, see indicators for enemy reinforcements on your minimap. Once you know what it does, it actually makes perfect sense. But like, just say respawns, like, just say respawns, and everybody would be like, man, that's actually insane. And the only counter to this, I did say I didn't have any more information, but the only thing that counters this, you would think it would probably be something like Ghost or Ninja or Cold-Blooded, but the actual counter to this is actually Spycraft, which is one of those perks in the perk 3 slot that a lot of people aren't taking right now. And Spycraft does actually let you hack enemy field upgrades. You're immune to counter spy plane, jammer, tracker, and paranoia. You won't trigger proximity mines or gas mines, and you can booby trap enemy care packages. But what this actually doesn't say is that it also reduces your ability to get seen by forward intel. So if you do die and you do have Spycraft on, which is a very underrated perk in this game, by the way, if you do have that on, forward intel won't be able to actually detect where you're spawning, and you'll have a little bit more stealth as that. Man, I wish we could take just like straight up 3 perks and then like forward intel, but we are limited in the amount of perks we can have. So forward intel is a very, very powerful piece of utility in this game. If you aren't using it, like, go with perk greed. You get that flak jacket, you get that forward intel, means you are an absolute information machine, and you can just learn the maps so easily. Like, it's way easier to just sort of know where people are going to spawn, get a little indicator, that red dot on the top of your minimap, bottom of your minimap, left, right, it tells you exactly where they're going to spawn, and is a fantastic piece of information that you definitely want to start off with in Cold War this year, because a lot of people are struggling. I know a lot of people are out there struggling, not doing very well, and with this piece of information, you'll definitely try and do a lot better in your games. Anyway, guys, this was a short little video of some details on some lesser known stuff in this game. I mean, this one is a very, very powerful piece of information, along with the field microphone video that we made yesterday. If you haven't seen it, go check that one out as well. Thank you very much for watching this one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already done so. I very much appreciate it, and it does very much help me out. The like goal for this one, as I mentioned earlier, is of course 12 likes. I know you guys can get there, so make sure you don't let me down, and I will of course see you in the next one. Bye!